Plaintiff Bonnie Lynn Butler says the defendant is her daughter, and when she was 18, she met and married her current husband. Bonnie Lynn claims her daughter's husband is controlling and has a criminal past, and she's suing her daughter for a stolen cell phone and defamation. Defendant Diamond Roloff and her husband Mohammed say Diamond and her mother have never gotten along, and Bonnie Lynn doesn't like Mohammed because he's Muslim. Diamond is countersuing her mother for breach of contract and harassment.
Start with you.
Your Honor, my daughter, from the day she was born, we were inseparable. We had such a close relationship. We had our own language. I had so many little nicknames for her: Sparkle Boo, Soft Scent. We were just inseparable. We were very close. And when she turned 18, she was just barely 18 and 4 months, I think. She met this man over here, and they were talking about getting married after only 2 months. Out of concern for my daughter, I ran a background check. I saw that this man, Mohammed Brian Shahzad, he goes by many different identities, so I can't keep up. Okay. He has changed his name many times. He had domestic violence, child abuse. He owes $7,000 in child support, restraining orders he's had put against him, and I was very concerned for her.
Yeah, and really should have been.
She was my baby.
How did she respond when you disclosed the information?
She began to change, and she responded, "We're getting married anyway, whether you like it or not."
So how long have they been together now?
They've only been together just a little over a year.
Okay, and what is your observation of the relationship? Do you see it being problematic for her?
He's very controlling. Okay. He's very domineering. I told him, I saw him, and I wasn't going to let him abuse her. Or
what did you see him do?
Oh, I didn't see him do anything except for kind of extricate her from her family. He's basically changed her in such a way. She began telling me, "I hate your makeup, I hate your hair." She actually posted this on Facebook.
What is that? Let's see it.
As a derogatory hit against me. And she was insinuating, because I just started wearing makeup in the last 2 years, that this was a picture of me. She said all it needs is a wig.
Did you ask her about it?
No.
Why didn't you ask her?
There was a restraining order because this man convinced her to file a restraining order against her own mother.
What was alleged in the restraining order
I'm supposedly
application?
Harassing her.
And it was granted?
It was granted for 4 years.
Wow. What did they present to convince that judge?
I had taken a picture of their kiosk because he's selling sunglasses that he buys for like 25 cents for $13, and
what's wrong with that? That's a good business.
He's also had cell phones. He repairs cell phones, but he breaks them, and I was very upset because
I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to laugh, man, but this has nothing to do with you. You know so much about the man. I forgot. You investigated him up and down.
Yeah. I watched him. And
the one that judge gave him that restraining order, ma'am. Can't do that. You look too far. All right, let me hear from you, ma'am.
Well, Your Honor, my mom and I haven't had a good relationship.
Since when?
Since ever. She's very controlling. She wants to control everything I do, who I marry, who I see. When I believe it was 16, she made me get a job to pay rent when I was 16. I had to pay $450 a month, plus my own food.
What do you want to tell me about your husband after she has said so much?
She has never been for him, ever.
Why?
I believe because of his religion, because he's Muslim. I have proof of her saying that she's an Al-Qaeda terrorist. Also the fact that he's 18 years older than me, which I don't believe that matters. It's a number. It really is. Also the fact that we got married a couple months after we met, but we had originally met long before when I was underage. But we never did anything. I just thought he looked cute. And then when I worked in the mall with my mom, then I talked to him again, and we felt the same way, and so we started dating.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I have a letter from my supervisor who had also hired her. Pardon me?
Saying what?
That this man has been written up by the mall management where he worked for preying on young girls. He was written up for being predatory towards two 15-year-old girls.
And they fired him? Well, you don't write somebody up who are preying on minors. You fired them.
They warned him.
I don't know about
they
that.
They gave him a written warning.
I don't know about that. I don't believe this man.
It's also a witness statement of how close my daughter and I were.
This is signed by whom?
That's by Jean Curley.
Who was that?
Jean Curley was my supervisor when I worked.
How does supervisor know how close you and your daughter are, man?
She had hired my daughter as well, and we were very tight.
All right. And anything else you want to say other than you believe she's discriminating against your husband because he's Muslim?
She's also threatened to call CPS, Child Protective Services, on my child to have him taken away from me and me put in jail. And I have proof of that too. Because
the two of them are living with a practicing heroin addict.
That is not true.
He has been.
Let's get to the defamation and the cell phone you're suing for.
In March of 2017, my husband and I were going through a separation, and I relinquished my phone because it was on his bill. My daughter brought me an iPhone 7, and I had agreed. I told her that I would pay her the first month, which was $164. And unfortunately, I did not pay. I was not able to pay it. Mm-hmm. So after 2 months, the phone was shut off. Fast forward to July of 2018. Well, June, she had asked for the phone back, but July of 2018, she entered my home with my grandson, brought my grandson over for a visit, and she went in my drawer without my knowledge, and she took that phone back that still had my private and personal information on. So I was very concerned, being that he has been known to...
Come across like a bigot, ma'am, I'm going to tell you.
No, sir, no, I have a very dear friend, she is Muslim. I have nothing.
That's the first sign of a bigot.
No.
Point out one friend. Go ahead, ma'am.
She is I've adopted her as my daughter.
Okay.
I love her dearly.
Very good.
Anyways, when my daughter came in my home with my grandson, she stole this phone. And I discovered that she had the phone. So I texted her and I told her I needed my personal information off of that phone. And I went back and forth, and she continually said, "You're not getting anything."
And she never gave you the phone?
She did not give me the phone.
And what about the defamation? How has she defamed you?
She posted this under my name.
This is it.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Bonnie Lynn Butler. I hate black people. Did you do this?
I did not do that, no.
And this is posted off whose?
It was posted off of the iPhone. Here is the evidence the officer had given me. And it's during that same time that she posted it.
Did you come and take the phone?
I did.
All right, so why?
Because it was under my name, and she said...
Did you pay for it?
I did, yes.
Did she pay for it?
She got the phone and gave it to me as a gift.
Is that correct?
That's not correct. I have proof.
And
Defamation, sir.
Well, it doesn't hurt your reputation.
It did, because I was running for Miss Wheelchair Wisconsin, and when that post came up, they banned me from...
Well, I'm not convinced she did this. There's no other way of posting this?
The officer circled where it was logged in from, and that was the iPhone 7.
Okay.
He circled that, and he circled the time. He said, this is when it was done, and he was
What's your
standing in my-
counterclaim?
Breach of contract was because she told me that she would pay for the bill for my phone, and she hasn't paid anything since, anything at all, ever.
And what charges do you have that are unpaid?
It's $595.
And they're unpaid?
As of right now, yes.
Ma'am?
I agreed to pay $164. I am not.
That's what she said, ma'am. So why do you think she should pay all if she only agreed to $164? That makes sense.
I have proof that she said that she would pay me $450. That was the original amount for the phone.
So what about this harassment?
The harassment, she has been constantly texting me, calling me psycho thief after I took the phone, telling my husband, calling him an Al-Qaeda terrorist.
It's not true.
I have proof of that as well.
You see it?
Okay.
This is you telling her, just make arrangements with your father to get the phone. I don't want it.
That's correct. I didn't want the
Yes,
phone. I just needed my
I will
information.
still pay you, but I'm done. End of story. You tell her you'll pay her.
Yes, I would pay her.
We will be back later tonight. As now, I'm going to get your $450.
Because she needed money for rent because they weren't paying their rent, and I wanted to help her out. Here, Your Honor, this is proof that she went on my Pizza Hut account and was ordering pizza.
Shazad, you're supposed to be a good Muslim. Obviously, you are not. My problems was with your wife, not you. Shazad, please bring John back here. I'm on the floor. Our phones won't dial out. Shazad, I don't know where my emergency button is. What are you saying? She called him all type of terrorist, ma'am. You got me reading through all this. I'll grant you, ma'am, I'll grant you your $600, and I'll grant you your $595. All this mess you all are involved in, you can take it with you and talk crazy to each other. Have a good day. That's my judge, man.